Today I have a quick and small video about a big and scary subject: online harassment, bullying, and trolling. I recently received a comment from a viewer, just like you. They were reaching out for advice, because they were worried not about receiving harsh criticism, or about receiving, constructive criticism on the internet, because, there's always plenty of that going around, but they were really just concerned about harassment. The particular example that was posted was people tagging you in posts where they're saying really crude things about you, or just adding you on Twitter, or sending you direct messages. What can we do about it? And I feel that this conversation immediately becomes about two things, and I think one of them is less of a key point than the other. The first one is fighting back. Or rather, I should say, fighting back. Blocking people, using moderation tools, reporting people. These all have a varying degree of success and failure. It depends pretty much on the platform that you're using on the internet. For instance, here on YouTube, it's the easiest, because whenever someone leaves homophobic comments in the videos, because of course they do, I just hit ban and that person never shows up ever again. It's actually pretty darn simple. But it isn't on all places. And on Twitter particularly, blocking people can, more often than not, incite further harassment. And just to be clear, we're not talking about, oh, this person just added me on the review of my book in which they said they didn't like the main story. We're talking about actual, just uncalled for, crude harassment. The stuff that always feels unjustified. The stuff that makes you feel as though it's coming out of nowhere. The stuff that makes you feel out of place. And I know, because we writers tend to be the more sensitive type, that these kind of constant messages can really get to us and slow us down. And while I do understand that the first approach of actually directly doing something about these people is meaningful, I don't think it's the most useful. If you are going to do writing and creating content and putting it on the internet and having yourself be there, you must minimize your social media footprint. You must be on as few places as possible and stick yourself to places where you have control over the people that are talking to you and people's ability to harass you. Twitter gets a lot of bad rep, understandably so. Twitter has a lot of flaws, but there's actually a bunch of settings you can do that immediately just mutes / hides people with particular parameters, especially, the angry eggs, or people with new accounts, or people who haven't verified with the phone. You can just check those boxes and those people will never show up. Like, you actually just have to do that, especially in the world that we live in. I know, this is not about being hopeless. This is not about being hopeless and feeling like you're always going to be the victim here. I don't think this is about that, but I think at the end of it all, what you should do, it's focus on you. There's a saying, and I'm gonna butcher it because I don't remember it, but it's the idea that anyone who's trying to bring you down has already admitted that they are beneath you. I think there is no little irony on the idea of a person writing a 3,000-word post about how bad you are as a writer and how much your book sucks, when they could have just written their own story, worked on it. The reality is this: we don't have control over the way people are going to react to our content. There is that old rule going around that no matter what you do, a third of the people are gonna like it, a third are gonna hate it, and a third are not gonna care about it. And whether that's true or not, I don't particularly care. The key here is that people will like it, love it, and feel impartial about it regardless of what you do. Regardless of whether you decide to fight back at the trolls, whether you decide to quit social media entirely. Regardless of your choices, people will feel that way, and you can't change that. But I think, in my heart, that at the end of it all, I ask myself, what do I like doing? Is it telling stories? Because I love telling stories. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's the thing that I want to do for the rest of my life. Am I going to stop that because some people are kind of rotten inside? I don't think so. Absolutely not. I am very good at doing things out of spite. And you gotta realize that people who are sending you this hate, they're agitators. They want you to quit. They want you to stop what you're doing. And I think the one underanalyzed element of all this entire conversation that I didn't see when people were talking about it, and I didn't get when talking with other people, was the reality that whoever is posting this, whoever is sending you this, they are wasting their time. Whether they're sending you these messages out of jealousy, or because they have their own problems they're dealing with, or because of whatever they're doing, it actually doesn't matter. My point here isn't to humanize the people who are doing this. I don't particularly care for that. My point here is to state that they're spending their time doing this when you are spending your time making art. And I want to clarify that I'm referring to the pettiest kind of harassment. I'm talking to people just adding you and saying dumb, crude, homophobic, sexist, misogynist comments. If things escalate, you should most definitely reach to your authorities for help. But I think that adding trolls, blowing up their tweets by RTing them with a comment, screenshotting them, I honestly feel, after years of having experienced this, that it just escalates things. These people want your attention. These people want to see you riled up. They want to see that they can affect you. That this person who did this thing, who is not wasting their time, was affected by a nobody somewhere else out in the middle of who knows where. When we have bad days, what do? We write. When it's rainy outside and the weather is all ugly, what do? We write. In spite of what people tell us, in spite of their crude, unconstructive comments, what do? We keep on writing. Because this is what we love. This is what we do. And I don't know about you, but I will never stop doing what I do. I will never stop making these videos, and I will never stop telling stories. Because it's what I do. And no amount of harassment could ever make me sacrifice what I love most. That is so backwards. And I know, especially if you're dealing with this right now, it may seem petty for me to give you this explanation, but I'm going to tell you one more time. Do not escalate their harassment. Ignore them and focus on you. One of the tips that I can tell you right now is that the next time, because it's gonna happen, the next time you get one of those comments, speak what you're thinking about it out loud. Actually say it. Actually say, wow, this is actually a really rude and dumb comment. Actually say it out loud. Say it out loud. This comment here is really rude and uncalled for, and whoever wrote this was wasting their time. And then you get back to things. Don't just think about it in your head, say it out loud. Externalize it, get it out of your system, exercise that demon, and get back to work. And that's what I really feel. And I know I promised this video was going to be short, but I lied. I had a lot to say. And I know that it's hard. Because our brains, our human brains, are not actually programmed to deal with stuff like that. So we have to come up with solutions like that. Because no matter what happens, we have to adapt to the situations around us. And I want to inspire you to tidy up your online footprint. Like, actually, I recommend you, especially if you're going to be doing this writing thing for realsies, and you actually want to have your author profile, actually go and scrub everything clean. Like, actually delete old profiles, start clean if you have to. It's going to be for the best. Because it will give people, really rotten people, less fodder to harass you with. And that's it. I'm sorry this went on for so long, but I hope this helps. This is one of those unfortunate subjects, and I think, honestly, like, the one thing that no one was mentioning in all the articles I read, looking for information to make sure that I was giving you something worthwhile, and I'm sitting here like, no one's talking about the fact that these people are just wasting their time. And especially when those comments are coming from a place of jealousy, it's just so counterintuitive, it's just so backwards. And I guess it's just the way that I've always been, the way that I'm programmed, the way that I've always thought, where, like, the idea of giving someone harassment on the internet through the veil of anonymity has never appealed to me, because I'm like, I could just go right, or I could just, you know, do something I like. I could just go watch a movie. I could just play Stardew Valley. Any person who would rather send harassment to someone else over just playing Stardew Valley, that they are living a pitiful existence. Because playing 72 hours of Stardew Valley is self-care. Hey there everybody, Max here, also known as MKaren. How you all doing? I want to let you know that if you have a question, let me know in the comments down below, and I may tackle it in a video just like this one. I'm sorry if this is taking me a little bit of a while to get back to you. I went to a convention, or maybe I'm going to a convention. I don't know. I'm trapped in this time prison, and I don't know when I'm gonna get out, so it's fine. Leave a question down below. And also I want to let you know that if you enjoy my videos, support me on Patreon. Patreon.com/MKaren is the number one place to support me and what I do. By just pledging $1, $1, you can watch my videos a week before they go live on YouTube. $1. $1 is all it takes. $1 to get all these rewards. And if you pledge a little bit more, you get a shout out like the following people: A. Howard, Amelia, Angela, I'm reading them in a voice today, Brenda, Harriet Holman, Irina Phoenix, and Joe, Lukey, Mark Maruska, Pat Eichenson, Rain Misoa, and Soul Muse. And of course, my latest shout-out patron, Nicola! Thank you so much for joining us, and your support means a lot to me, thank you. And now, here we are at the end slate. How you all doing? Cyberbullying and harassment and trolling is no joke. Sorry, I feel like I was leaning there towards like 90s Sonic. If someone wants to harass you on the internet, that's no good. Oh man, that's a joke for like 3 people. Some of my friends are really young, and I literally do this mental check where I'm like, this thing that I remember, is it older than my friend Charles? The answer is probably yes. That Sonic meme is older than my friend Charles. And that's something to think about. Hey there! Hey, I know, it got real silly here on the end screen, but take care of yourself. Focus on you. Seriously. Don't let somebody's pitiful, jealous, stupid comment get to you and slow you down, okay? Okay.